Today, I'll be mostly doing my bit for the nature. In the nature, you often find the oak trees, but where the bunny rabbits find them, they eat all the leaves and the tree never grows. So I've taken it upon myself to cut the bottle. So what I do is I cut the bottle down here with a saw, and then I open it up, I put it round the plant, and then I place some sticks in the ground and I gaffer tape it. That will give it at least 2 more years growth. That way it will survive if no inquisitive little shit comes across it. So there's one. I've got another one over here. I have to look after the oaks. The oaks is the Callahan, belong to the chief. You're not allowed to touch the oaks in Gaelic culture because they're fucking mine. Yeah. So there's another one. And I place all the sticks around here so the bunny rabbits don't dig in. So I've done a few oaks around here. There's not as many as there was the last time, but still, there's one of my cherry trees that I planted. And here's another one over here. This is a different type of oak. It's still a fucking oak, but I like to increase the ecology around here. It's already been in a bit of trouble before I put her in there, but you see, it's liking it. It's right in the sun as well. It's in its own little greenhouse. Isn't that amazing? So I've got cherry trees, plum trees, apple trees, oak trees. In the past, when this island was covered from head to toe in oaks, look at that beautiful scenery. It was covered from head to toe in oaks as far as the eye could see. When we had to retreat, if they ever came onto our island, we made oak meal. It's similar to what the Indians have in their diet, which was the Lakota Sioux. They need buffalo meat or they get diabetes. We used to have oak in our diet, but we don't have it anymore. So you could live off oak in the forest in the winter while they were hiding from invading marauders, and that was it. It's a fruit tree. It makes a seed. It's still a fruit tree. You're not allowed to touch them down. You're not allowed to cut them down in the Bible. You're not allowed to touch the trees that bear fruit in a war. Or it could be a metaphor if you're not allowed to touch the women. But sometimes in the Bible it says you have to spoil the loose legs. Get in there, conquer them fucking Eden, and fuck all their bitches. That's the way the orders should go. Make sure you put your seed in them. That'd be the end of that. Spoil them. You know? When you're dealing with the heathen don't know right from wrong. They don't. They may have a moral structure. Even the Maya had a moral, what they called morality. Yeah? And they used to eat one another. And then they done so much of eating one another. Quetzalcoatl came in and ate them. And that was the end of the classic Maya period. The heathen fucking archaeologists and the so-called academics, academia. Don't make me giggle. Academia. It's the demia at the end because they're telling you demon lies. Is that why they're called academia? Wow, what's happened to this thorn bush? I've never seen that before. It's looking really weird. I wonder if it's an edible. Could it become a delicacy? Strange. Yeah. So academia. So the heathen don't know right from wrong. That's why because you've been educated wrong when you read the Bible and the Lord says, take the heathen thereabouts, you bonds men and bonds women. Look, there's another one in there. Take the heathen thereabouts, you bonds men and bonds women. You think, oh, that's so cruel. It's not actually so cruel. I was just watching a documentary, and I don't know if it's true, but I seen the Russians, they dug a hole right down into the centre of the earth, yeah? And then they hit something and they couldn't get past it. So they decided to put a microphone on the end of the drill. And you can hear all the souls in hell screaming from the microphone at the end of the drill. Yeah, so that's why we had to be cruel to one generation to save the next. So those tares amongst the we who want to see you tormented in hell for all eternity and strapped to a table and tortured by merciless angels for being, if you're a kiddie fiddler or something like that, they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to have a nice pristine environment. They don't want any trees in the country, so when the giants come crawling out of the ground and you start to run, there'll be nothing to hinder the giants. They'll just catch it at the ditch, you know, because you won't be able to get across the ditch. They'll just step over it, pick you up by the ankles and suck the juice out of your head. Yeah, like that. But anyway, to get back to it, academia, they make me laugh. Ain't they funny? Fucking fuegos. Yeah, academia. They thought they knew a thing or two, but they don't. And then when you burst that little bubble, still the arrogance and the audacity of them to walk into Trinity College and continue with the curriculum that they have and accept the hundreds of thousands of pounds, tens of thousands of pounds paychecks for being the most learned scholars in the land, when everybody knows the Lord told me to tell them they were full of shit. And I gave them all the proof of it. And still to this very moment, they're teaching shite in school. And even more importantly, we'll use our shower of spastics. And you are no good to yourselves. You have shown yourselves to be nothing more than a bunch of retarded individuals who want to be told lies. Therefore, you need rescuing and recovery. Things is going to get cruel. It's his own fault. Because when a man walks up to you and says, "Here, hey asshole, hi, how you doing? Can you read? We'll read this." You give them a bit of paper and it absolutely smashes the theory of evolution. It smashed the back doors of it like someone getting gang raped in San Quentin or something. Some pretty little boy goes into San Quentin, he gets grabbed in the cell by loads of bull queers and he ass raped them. That gateway doesn't exist anymore, there's something else where it was. I know it's cruel to say it like that, but that's what happened. Ass raped modern academia got when the Lord handed out, the Lord told me to hand out the leaflets to prove that we once had wings, some of us have horns, some of us, do I make you horny? I want my mojo back. Yeah, that's what he got, ass raped. Now I was in jail in America and there was this big huge black man called Bubba and he wanted to fuck me. So the Mexicans and the Native Americans, they fucked him up. He was getting smart at me. They go, hey, he was a big bull queer he was, yeah? I'd have fucked him up on my own, but I didn't have to. The Mexicans and the Native Americans, they fucking battered him to bits, they did. He got left in pieces, the screams out of him. Oh my, because he got smart with me. Because I got protected by a LMA and people from Tijuana. Because I got connects, you know. So you got the Mexicans and the Aryans, they stick together. Because the Mexicans from the ancient culture believe that one day some crazy white guy is going to come along and release them from slavery. So anyhow, have you ever seen the film Blood In, Blood Out or American Me? You ever seen those movies? Yeah, well, there's a word, La Onda, the mother's love. My son, hear the instructions of your father and forsake not your mother's law. So you know you got all these stand-up guys. What is actually a stand-up guy? Well, Michael the Archangel stands for the children, and he doesn't like grasses. He doesn't like stitching people up. So if you're not a stand-up guy, how can you be one of the stand-up guys with the angel? Huh?